As some of you may have noticed, Snake Plissken is that sexy pirate, that mysterious super troll extraordinaire, has basically flipped his fucking lid. Off came the eye patch. And there went his sanity. Well, since Snake took off his eye patch, I am going to put mine on. And yes, that was the chroma key effect I screwed up on with my last video that made it green for no reason. Anyhow, Snake Plisskenist has made a video claiming that I was Krista, also known as Femitius Divine. I had an exchange of PMs with him for an entire day, where he accused me of being Krista. And that was after the day he spent a few hours PMing me over how much I was right and he was just madly in love with her all along. Which goes against the dozens of PMs where he constantly says he did everything for her and she did nothing for him. And how it was all about some YouTube business arrangement or whatever the fuck he has spent all this time rambling about. What's interesting is, he is not the first person to put forth a remarkable amount of effort to prove I am Krista. One of her many stalkers had already done that to me, and yes, she actually has a lot of stalkers. Either that or they've all been her sock accounts, or they've all been Snake's sock accounts, take your pick. I really don't know why so many people are so convinced I am Krista. It's not like me and her have anything in common ideologically, aside from her making that video suggesting that anti-rape lessons be taught in school to both genders and have no gender targeted. Aside from that, I don't think we really agree on anything ideologically. I don't believe we even have the same style of grammar. However, I guess there are some similarities. We both like Marilyn Manson, we're both artistic, we both have a good sense of humor, we both put a lot of work into our videos, we're both very computer literate, and we're both really good at using video editors. Now, let's take a look at his video that got flagged down, about how his psychotic rants about her was all part of a plan to lay Karen, also known as Girl Rights What.
To explain, a lot of people think that I don't have principles, and with regard to whatever silly shit they call principles, they're probably right. But there is one principle that I have, which is I don't share information that was shared with me in private. I keep a confidence, I guess you could say.
Bullshit, you took my PMs to you, and shared them with Krista, who eventually shared the screenshots of it with me. In fact, you guys have to hear this. March 19th I make a video, leave Snake alone. I PM Snake and Krista, since the video was about them, and Snake just happens to spontaneously, out of the blue, mention, oh by the way I am totally fucking her, but don't tell anyone. Well obviously he's full of shit, and is just being a goof. So I write back to him something along the lines of, no way, for reals? Dude, you are fucking my hot sweet gender Nazi? My Krista Barbie Hitler? Dude, I hate you. But tell me, does she give head? He writes back with, hey I'm a gentleman, I don't kiss and tell, but yeah she does. And so for a couple of days me and him would write to each other a few times and play out the joke that he's making sweet sweet love to her tender body. And I would play my role of being so outraged and jealous that my goddess is having her body impurified and tainted by his grubby paws. And of course I would use over-the-top dramatic language like that. And it was just an ongoing joke me and him had. Well apparently on the 26th he decides to share my inboxes with her, explaining that the reason he is making up stories about having sex with her, is to enrage me with jealousy so that I make videos about her or referencing her, and he is doing this to help promote her channel. I only find out about all of this because Krista screen capped the inboxes to show me, and this was about 5 or 6 days ago. And she only did that because Snake tweeted that Krista wanted him to sell the whole story between them, as a way of making me jealous. And I tweeted back something like, OMG Krista would really do that to me? That evil bitch. You are a good man Snake, or something like that. Krista sees the tweet and seriously thinks I am heartbroken and hurt. So as I am reading over these PMs, I am just laughing at how fantastic it all is. Sure he's sharing my inboxes, which is low, but the fact he is clever enough to convince her that I am so in love and dangerously obsessed with her, and for her to actually read all of that, and believe it. And then I sat there thinking about how since March 26th she has assumed I am so obsessed with her. And that comment I made about how every day that goes by, that I don't hear from her, it tears me up inside, because I just know she's with Snake. And then I reflect on how she would always PM me with a simple, hello, how are you doing today? Is everything okay? Simply because she didn't want a day to go by without me hearing from her, so that I wouldn't have to suffer. Honestly, I don't mind being the butt of a joke if the joke is worth laughing at. and I still laugh every time I think about it. But Snake, you share PMs, so don't lie. What am I saying? Telling you not to lie is like telling Woolly Bumblebee not to say something stupid. It's like telling Feminist Frequency to stop crying. I also want to point out that I know you have shared other people's inboxes with various other people. When all is said and done, if any of you have been PMing Snake about this whole Krista and Snake ordeal, there is a good chance it is floating around for others to see. And there is a chance I have actually had the opportunity to read it. When I announced to a few friends that I was finally going to reply to Snake, I got a ton of PMs with people wanting to offer me proof of this or that, and emailing me screenshots etc. Snake shares PMs, and most importantly, he does it for the most deceitful reasons, rather than a sort of, here's proof of what happened, in an effort to clear someone's name. Also, he has offered me nudes of Krista if I just turn on her. I'm really not sure how many other people he has made this offer to. It is my understanding that there really are no nudes of Krista. Except for one, somewhat nude pic. And to end Snake's bargaining power, and at the risk of getting this video flagged for porn, I am going to show everyone this somewhat nude pic of her. I guess Snake was telling the truth, she is flat as a board. I honestly don't know if there are any nude pictures of her. She swears there isn't. Snake swears he has some. No one I talk to claims to have seen these pictures. But yeah, Snake does share PMs, particularly in an effort to manipulate people.
A while back, I made this video about the Femitheist Divine. I can't remember exactly what it was called. Like, is this bitch for real? I don't think she's on the level, or something like that. So I make this video about her because I don't think that she seriously believes any of that shit she's saying. It's inconsistent with all of her mannerisms. My point is, she started emailing me after I made that video. Or not emailing me, PMing me on YouTube. So I'm like, I don't know why she's doing this, but you know, you should never turn down a potential contact or friend. So I'm like, oh yeah, interesting. And you know, whenever she puts out a new video, she'd send me a PM like, I just made this new video. And on one she said, I just made this new video, please don't respond to it. And I'm thinking, I think she's probably testing me to see if I'm trustworthy, and what I'm going to do is what I was going to do anyway and not respond to it, which was easy to do because I didn't watch the video. But, you know, I figured I might win points with her. So then, you know, I start getting really bored of YouTube. Actually, I've been getting bored of YouTube. She PMs me more, and we have conversations, and, you know, she kisses my ass a lot, and I hate to admit it. But if you kiss my ass a lot, you'll win me over. Now, you know, she'll go on about how she's harassed in real life, and I was like 90% sure that was total bullshit, and I am at this point 100% sure that was bullshit.
Why do you find it hard to believe that she gets harassed in real life? People have doxed her. She is a young beautiful woman who says shocking and controversial things that enrage people. It's not hard to believe that she gets real-life harassment. She has a lot of online stalkers. I know this because ever since I made that video about her getting banned from YouTube, I get inboxes from people who insist that she is secretly an actress, actually a troll. She's done this, she's done that, her and her boyfriend had legal problems in regards to this and that drama shit. And me just reading all this and thinking, why the fuck does anyone think I give a shit? Just like with the people before you, Snake, who have tried to say I am Krista. I say so much as one positive thing about her. And all of her mentally unbalanced stalkers come out of the woodwork and accuse me of being her. And then they inbox me with proof containing all sorts of inboxes from alleged sock accounts of theirs and hers and who fucking knows. Drama, 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 and anyone so fucking obsessed with her, to the point of going around spamming people's inboxes about her, out of the fucking blue. Anyone that does this needs to seriously take a break from the World Wide Web. So yeah, she has online stalkers out the wazoo. And considering how many times she's gotten doxed, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of these people knew where she lived. And attempted to cause trouble with that knowledge. In fact, Snake, you yourself have doxed her. And you yourself are acting like a creepy stalker.
Because I have a plan. During this time that she's without her channel, I suggest to her that the two of us should have a partnership of sorts. You know, that we should support each other's channels, yada yada yada. And I'm going to be honest here, that was a proximate goal to, you know, increase my subscribers, especially increase her subscribers.
This is something I really want to get into, because up until recently, this has been your main explanation for your erratic behavior, your stereotypical erratic dramatic behavior reminiscent of a schoolboy with a broken heart. This was your explanation to me, to her, to Twitter, and now to YouTube. You have told me in PMs and mentioned on Twitter, how much you have done for her, how the narcissistic bitch just takes and you gave, and she never did anything for you, she's a greedy selfish bitch and so on. Really driving it home just how much you went out of your way to push and promote her and make her big. So let's examine the validity of it. Starting before you and Krista befriended each other, let's say about 3 months ago. Let's take a look at the size of your channels. Starting with Krista's video, Sensible Feminism versus Hypersensitivity, all the way to her first video, a total of 14, her video views average out to 33,215 views per video. Your videos, starting at the first one that says, 3 months ago, which is, cleaning the apartment, to the video, Choo Choo, a total of 14 videos, averages out to 1,456 views per video. She is literally 22.8 times as popular as you in regards to average video view, which as a YouTube partner, is the only thing that actually matters. Point is, you have a small channel compared to Krista, your view count is a mere fraction of what she gets. Her views and popularity really hasn't budged since you've befriended her, and you, for one reason or another, have gotten a significant boost in traffic. I'm sorry mate, but any pretense that you have done, or even could do, anything to boost her popularity, is a joke. Just like when you were inboxing me wanting me to turn on her and start completely trashing her, how you would reward my loyalty, and you'd make me famous, and I need to pick a side, and I should be on your side, the winning side. Snake, I have always made the mistake of assuming that when you speak, you're just joking. But I am beginning to believe all the crazy shit you say, is completely legit and you really are fucking retarded.
For a very simple reason. What I was later going to do is, after making Krista very famous on YouTube, I was then going to use that as leverage to get Girl Rights Watt, or as I call her Karen, to have sex with me. Now I know, you're like, Snake, you could have any woman you wanted. Like I said, it takes persistent flattery, don't bullshit me. But the thing is, there are very few women like Karen. She's very intelligent, she's very good at planning, she's very persuasive, and she's almost always right about shit. And back to what I was saying with Krista though. So, I make those videos supporting her, she gets her YouTube channel back, and at this, I'd been discussing how, I'd been discussing how she should support me, because it would really build a lot of solidarity with the MRM, and most of my subscribers are MRAs. And that was part of my long-term plan, to merge her with MRAs, thus demonstrating my male utility to Karen, and then she would be like, well, if he can do that for that sack of hammers, what can he do for me? La-da-da, we'd have sex.
Let's be clear, you had nothing whatsoever to do with Krista getting her channel back. I'm tossing that out there in case you were attempting to allude to you having something to do with it. Next, your plan to lay Girl Rights What is silly. You are effectively saying, in order to impress her, I am going to take someone Karen doesn't much like, and promote her and make her popular. To show off my promotional skills. Doesn't that make about as much sense as nominating Adolf Hitler for a Nobel Prize to impress Anne Frank? I'm just saying, I have to really reach, in order to come up with a more ridiculous scenario, but props for comedy of a tall tale. Such a convoluted plan to bet Karen. The simpler approach of calling her on the phone and saying, hey Karen, I'm going to be in Canada for a week, I thought maybe you'd like to meet me and we could hang out. Would probably work a lot better. But what do I know, my plan to romance her involves a chimp named Bobo, Chuck Norris, Kate Mulgrew, Brett, the Hitman, Hart, a shipment of genetically altered bananas that naturally taste like strawberries, an autograph of Vincent Price, and a favor from an old friend who works at the Century Cinema on South Kenora Street in Ontario. But I think I may have already said too much.
What I did was, now this might shock you to learn, I, using another account, talked to those pesky dames, and what I did was I convinced them, especially Subi and Becca, that they had every right to flag my videos for privacy. I was like, you know, this jackass, he shows your faces without your permission, yada yada yada. It actually took a while, but fortunately they are very stupid and malleable, and they did flag my videos.